Winning team members. Who is giving these trees a bob? Can you see? Yeah, we can see here. Who's giving the trees a bob? Also, shark. Can we see the helicopter? Where's the helicopter? Can you guys see it? I don't know if you guys can see it. Anyway, there's a helicopter. Who knows? Probably some crime. Probably a body found in the pond again. Anyways, I'm out and about. I'm out and about because you know what, guys? I have so much energy and I have so many thoughts in my mind. It's like not even 8 a.m. You see, can I just explain? Trying to see where you guys can see me the best. Can I just explain something to the population? So look at this face. This is insane. I'm actually on a golf club. I shouldn't be here. Uh-oh. No, I'm joking. No one's here, so it's fine. Anyway. So if you can imagine, right? Not me squatting as if you guys can even see me squatting in the thing. I actually think squatting is a really comfortable position to sit in. Anyway, it's not important. So, what was I going to say to you lot? Yeah, I realised, that the issue I've been having is, this is also after the previous video that I just uploaded where I was going off about Christ is King malarkey. Oh my gosh, we need to delete that word now because it's bothering me. Is that a spider web? I swear down, this is why I hate spiders, man. Oh, you guys have no idea the videos that are coming, by the way, because me and the Lord are on a new journey finally, because now he's no longer holding me to this freaking, what was we talking about before? Adam and Eve. Yeah, that's I'm always going to talk about Adam and Eve because we're all Adam and Eve. And that's where the mistake started, and that's where it all started, and that's where it all went wrong, and that's what we need to correct anyway. It's not important. So, what was I saying, you lot? Not me calling you guys you lot. It's proper British. Do you know what? I don't think people realise in my videos how much effort I go to not use certain like British slang that would confuse the masses of those who are outside of the island and a different place. Imagine this is an island. I feel like I'm in One Piece and I've been in this story arc for way too damn long. But anyways, nevertheless, if you know, you know. Why did I come on here? What was I about to say? Oh yeah, I remember. I feel like I've got so much energy, more passion. Oh my gosh, my brain is not on one line. I've got too much going on. Basically, I've got too much energy. I've got nowhere to put it all. That's the thing. Because my job, everything that I'm currently doing requires so little amount of energy. Like, my job is easy to do because it's just logical thinking and explaining logical thinking and being patient. Those things I find easy. And then I'm just like, Lord, I'm ready to fight. Like, I'm ready to do the Lord's work. So I'm like, God, I won't say what I believe, but listen, it's the winning season. Like, come on, Lord, like, give me something. He is doing a lot, actually. I can't even lie to you. He's doing so much. And that's why I feel like I've got all this extra energy, because now I'm feeling revved up. Like, I feel revved like an airplane. I was thinking about this, about why I keep feeling like super exhausted periodically, because I feel like an airplane, right? You know, like with airplanes, I know so much about airplanes, it's crazy. You know, with airplanes, when they're going to take off, right? And then the pilots, they've made sure the thrust is symmetrical by pushing them all of the engines to 30%. They're ready to take off. You know, ATC has been like, yep, cleared for takeoff, yada, yada, yada. And they start moving the plane starts to move really fast, right? Now, here's an interesting thing about planes that you might not know. Did you know, not the squat again, did you know that airplanes, once they hit V1, so I was talking about V1 the other day, and I was saying that that's when that's the speed, or rather velocity, which planes have to reach in order to be able to, that's their takeoff speed, right? So that the pilots calculate in the cockpit while we're there, which is insane. Pilots are so freaking cool. Anyway, oh my gosh, you could have never been a pilot, actually, because anyway, never mind. Not me. Anyway, never mind. And so once they hit V1, if they have to, for whatever reason, reject, that is also the time where they can no longer reject the takeoff. Like, any time before they hit that speed, they can just like stop the plane from taking off. If they hit V1, even if there's like a problem with the plane, they actually have to take off and come back down again, because the plane is going so fast that if they were to reject the takeoff, right? If they were to reject the takeoff, it would actually cause an accident, because that's how fast it's going now, and it's ready to take off, and the plane is going to be airborne now. It's airborne. We're at airborne speed. So if they want to reject a takeoff at any point, it has to be before that. And if they take off at that point, I just find that so interesting, by the way. And the reason why I'm mentioning that, there's an airplane over there. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love airplanes. Oh my gosh, I need to own an airline one day. Anyway, the reason I'm mentioning that, because I've been feeling like for my entire life, honestly, I get to these moods where I'm like, where I feel like I'm at right now, like where I'm just like oozing with energy, with passion, with just like everything. I feel like I want to do everything, and I feel like I can do anything. And like when I say anything and everything, I've literally I've been running like just for no reason. Like just now I was just working out for no reason, because I just had so much energy. I just started doing a workout. I just started running. I've been running, working out, like for no good reason. Like there's nothing happening, just because I'm excited and I'm just happy and I'm just, thriving in the Lord. And then I feel like an airplane that keeps having a rejected takeoff. Like that's why I'm mentioning this. Like I feel like I get to the point where I'm nearly hitting my own V1. Yeah. And then for some reason, and I wonder if it's me, it probably was me and my own participation in just not believing in the greater things and not choosing faith, because ultimately, like, you have to choose. Faith is not something that is given to you. It's something you have to choose to do, like, and it's an action. Like, faith is an action that you act out. You leave room for God in your life. You believe in God and you trust in God and you give God opportunities and things where you have purposefully not placed another idol instead. I was thinking the other day about I said to the Lord, or the question just came into my mind, like, why did the people of Israel, why did they create a golden calf? Why did they create a golden calf? Because, for a bit of context, in the Bible, right? I love the Bible, man. I love God. Isn't God just amazing? In the Bible, I want to sit on this grass here, but it's so wet, it's dewy. But do I actually care? I really don't. Let me find a good spot. It was tempting to go in there, but let's not. This is not an outdoorsy day. This is a day I just came. So I'm supposed to have just come out for a little bit of fresh air this morning, and I've been out for I don't know how long now. Probably 2 hours. I've been listening to music and all sorts. It's lovely. It's beautiful. It's quiet. There's no Homo sapiens. Just nature. Just creation. Right. What was I saying? Yeah. So the Israelites, they wow, I didn't expect to be unpacking this in the video today, but here we are, and this is good. The Israelites, when they left Egypt, right? So one of the things that God did, right? There's so much that God did. My goodness, He freed them, and He put it on the hearts of the Egyptians to give all of their gold and this, that, and the other to the people of God when they were leaving, which if you think about it is so opposite of what they would have wanted to do, because of course the people of God were slaves, right? Not me thinking about Britney Spears. There's a dude on the thing. Is he cutting the grass? Where is he going? Who knows? Anyways, yeah, the people of no, he's not cutting the grass, but he looks like he's doing something. He looks like he's got a reason to be here. You see, some of us are just out here making videos with so much energy, and other people are doing things. Good, shout out to you, my man, for doing some real work. Anyway, yeah, imagine the Egyptians giving up their gold to the slaves. It doesn't make any sense, does it? No, it doesn't make any sense. But that's what they decided to do. So they decided to give up all of their gold to the people of Israel. And that was the gold that the people of Israel, now God had given them. Why did God allow that to happen in the first place? Well, the idea was to take all of those materials to then go and build whatever the Lord was going to tell them to build, the temple, the this, that, the other, whatever, right? Also to just give them some finances, because the Lord is bruh, you're leaving Egypt, you got to go through the wilderness. This is what you got to do. I got to provide because I'm a provider and all that, this, that, and the other. And then they take these things in the wilderness while the Lord is leading them by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, and He is giving them manna from heaven to eat every day. He's gone. Don't know what He's doing. Right. Oh, this is actually a nice spot to sit in. And they decide to build a golden calf, right? So I'm like, why? I thought about that the other day and I didn't really think into it. I'm thinking into it now and I kind of feel like I understand why. Because the people of Israel are like those of us today. Oh my gosh, I was just grass. Never mind. There's grass, there's everything all over me. No wonder. I'm actually going to be so dirty by the time I get in because I've just got like the grass and everything. All on my J's, on my Jordans, tiptoeing in my Jordans. Oh my gosh, I've literally got like grass everywhere. Anyway, not important. These are the things of this life. You know what I'm saying? The material things do not go with us to heaven. Anyways, so they built the calf, I believe, because, and this is why I mentioned the story. When they were in the moment where they were supposed to have faith and trust in God. How do I always find myself sitting exactly in front of where the sun is? I'm always facing exactly onto the sun. It's crazy. And I didn't even do it on purpose. I've just realized that now the sun is exactly in front, like directly in front of me right now, right above my head. I love to see it. The Lord loves me. God loves me so much. He just actually loves me. Like, I don't know about the rest of the world, what you lot are doing, but the Lord loves me so much. Like, I can't even lie to you. He loves everybody. But, you know, we have these flawed ways of thinking due to everything I'm literally talking about. So they built the calf because they did not have faith in God. They felt like, they kept feeling like and doing like, oh, we need to create our own God because we need someone who's going to give us what we want now, how we want it, rather than trusting in God Almighty, God himself, to do what he's going to do. So we're going to build a golden calf with the gold that we got from God in the first place. It's like us. We build our own idols on this planet, from things from this planet. This is the very planet, the very grass right here that I'm sitting on, this very grass that God created. And then we create our own idols here. It's called compromise. Rather than trusting and giving and believing in the Lord for who he says he is and giving him a chance and trusting the process, letting him cook, right? We say, no, we're going to build a golden calf and we're going to build a golden calf. And that's what we do today. We build a golden calf. We do something ourselves. I'm a victim of it myself because I'm realizing, like, as I'm thinking about everything, like, obviously this is what happens when you're out in nature. You just start thinking about everything. Oh, it's nice to sit on the grass, man. Oh, I wish if I could. If it wasn't unsafe, I would literally take a nap right on the grass. I want to take a nap on the grass naked, by the way. That is the dream. Because I just want to just be able to it would be nice. Anyway, I feel like my dreams would just go to another level. I feel like everything would go to another level if I was to sleep on the grass. Anyway, some of you need to go out and touch grass. I get why people say that because it's actually facts. It's like actually go and touch grass. But anyway, so we build these calves. We build these false gods, these idols that we put in place of God. And what we don't realize is that when God says you shall have no other gods but me, it's not that God is an egomaniac who's just like obsessed with himself. In fact, he's obsessed with us. More than we're even obsessed with ourselves. That's what's funny about it. Because actually, if we were as obsessed with ourselves as we thought we were, then we would actually follow God because God is the best way for us to bring the best out of ourselves in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so he's saying that because he's like, if you have any other idol, those idols are going to come between me and you. And then it's going to become between me and you. You're going to put your reliance on something else that isn't me. And then that's going to turn around and backfire on you. And that's exactly what we do as humans. That's exactly why they built the calf. They didn't like the process, right? They're like, listen, all you're giving me is manna. I'm seeing people I'm having bread here. I'm waking up every day eating just bread. And I'm walking. And we've been walking forever, right? We've been walking forever. And I'm getting bread. And I'm seeing the ops. I'm seeing the enemy. They're having steak. They're having lobster. They're having caviar. They're having champagne over there. They're having it all going down over there, right? You know what I'm saying? Why am I over here just with bread in the wilderness? I'm going to pray to a different God because, I don't know. He says he's taking us to the land of milk and honey. He says that the grapes, I want to see what the grapes in the land of milk and honey would look like because the way that the Bible describes it, I feel like they would be the most beautiful, juiciest, luscious. Sorry, there was like a creature, whatever that creature was in front of the camera. There was like I believe they'd be the biggest, juiciest, just most delicious, I'd love to taste this why I got to taste Jesus's wine. Jesus's wine is going to be on tap in heaven. I swear down. If Jesus' wine ain't on tap in heaven, bruh, Jesus, come on, come through. Because he's talking about his first miracle, turning water into wine, and I don't get to taste the wine of the Lord. Are you kidding me? Anyways, I'm sure he'll make it the wedding feast because he's Jesus and he loves us. So I'm sure when it comes to the big wedding, we all finally get to be with the Lord and we get to be with Jesus, and he finally has done everything that's happened, and all of this is all over. Finally, I'm sure that Jesus is going to pull up and he's going to be like, guys, drink of the wine, because he is the vine. Anyway, let's not get too distracted. I'm completely distracted. Yeah, they're saying all of this. They didn't put their trust in God, basically, is what I'm saying. So like, the reason they created a calf is because we don't want to have this experience. We're not believing in the promised land. That's where I was going. We don't believing in the promised land. We're not believing that when we actually cross over, that we're actually, like, they didn't truly deep down believe, I think, here's my opinion, that God was who he actually was. Because like, if you believe God is who he is, you will put your faith in him. If you truly believe in God, you will put your faith in God no matter the circumstances, no matter anything else at all. Because you will say to yourself, like, listen, I don't care if I'm in the wilderness. I don't care if I'm getting just bread. I don't care if it's bread and it's walking and I can't see anything. I don't care. If God said that I will get into the promised land, the land of milk and honey with the best grapes, if God said that it would be my name, that it would be on a piece of land, Israel, literally Jacob's name was changed because he wrestled with God. Israel wrestles with God. You got to wrestle with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like we get on, because I'll be like, Lord, you got to wrestle through the scriptures, you guys, because your flesh will hate it. Like, our bodies, our minds, us as humans, human nature hates godliness because we want to be God's. God made us in his image, and therefore we want to be like God, and we want to be gods ourselves. That's where we cross the line. Being like God is great. That's what his intention was. But we're not God. And that's the delusion that comes from Satan. And that's the delusion that comes when you're so close to God. Oh my gosh, it all makes sense now. That's the delusion that comes when you're so close to being like God that you start to think you are God, which is exactly what happened to the devil in the first place. He had so much. God made him beautiful, talented, everything. He gave him so much that because he had that much, and because of the nature of anything that isn't God, right? Because God is perfection. Anything that isn't God, anything that is just a hair away from God, a decimal point away from God, a fraction away from God, right? Which is so funny because fractions, decimals, and percentages, I believe, is one of the most important, if not the most important topic to teach at a young level to people. And if you get those, that will see you through a lot of stuff, especially algebra. But anyway, not for today. I also find that's the area that a lot of people struggle with a lot. Anyway. So I'm literally going to be doing this in my freaking PowerPoint. I need to make another PowerPoint today. Oh gosh, can't be bothered, but we'll do it. So when you are like, so our problem is that that's what we do. We decide to try and be our own gods. We try to create another god. We choose a different option because we're so powerful and we have so much. God created us so much in his image that it's easy for us to think that somehow we know what we're doing. Adam and Eve, right? Eve. We somehow think we'll know what we're doing. And I reread the passage yesterday for some reason. The passage of the snake and Eve, right, specifically. And how the snake is like, but did God really say? And then he says, well, then the devil calls God a liar because if you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, your eyes will be opened and you will know the knowledge of good and evil and whatever. Now, you see, the devil, again, perfect example of deception. Because the tree is called the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and you will get knowledge from it. But guess what? You'll never have the knowledge of God. Guess what? No matter what idol you create, no matter what you put before God, it is never going to give you what God can give you. And you have to trust in God. And you have to trust in the process. Because there's a reason why the fact that we have flawed wisdom and flawed thinking as humans, like the actual fact that we think in a flawed manner, right, is exactly why we have to trust in God. It's exactly why when our circumstances look a certain way and the Lord is saying, I'm bringing you there, and it doesn't look like it, that is our flawed human thinking, because we don't understand the process. Like, when I think about my life, I think about so many things I've been through, and I've been through a lot of things. Like, now that, you know what, when my friend said it, she's like, girl, you've been through so much. I didn't realize you've been through so much as so young as well. And I was like, I've been trying to say that to everybody my entire life. Well, actually, I haven't really. To be honest, I haven't actually at all been trying to say it. I haven't even been trying to say it at all. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm actually a big fat liar right there. I repent. But when she said that, she's like, oh, you've been, I'm like, yeah. And it's taught me that there is a reason. There is a reason that God allows things to happen. Like, I'm not feeling salty towards the Lord about the things, the people that have come across. I'm not feeling salty. I don't feel salty about any of the abuse that I've endured, any of the traumas that I've had. Because you know why? First of all, I was thinking about this yesterday or the day before, I think. I was thinking, would I switch out all of the trauma that I've experienced? Would I exchange that instead for not having it if it means I don't become the person I am today? I'd rather be who I am today than I would remove all the things that have happened, because I like who I am today. I walk in power. I'm wise. I'm intelligent. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything I touch turns to gold. I used to feel like that living in London. I felt like, why does everything I touch turn to gold? It felt like everything I set my mind to, I achieve it. Every time I set my mind to winning, I win. Like, that is my strategy of winning. Do you know that? When I do stuff, like whatever it is, whether it be sports, whether it be a game, whether it be a business, whether it be relationships, whatever, I will set in my mind the only thing that goes through my head the whole time: win. That's the only thing in my head. The word win. And I'll be saying to myself, win, win. Like I'll be like chanting it in my brain. Win. Like, if I'm running a race, win. That's all I hear. Playing a game, win. Like, if people are messing around with me in relationships, set my mind, win. Like, I win. Because I've had to overcome so much that I'm at the point now where I don't just make idols. I don't make excuses. I don't compromise. I say, listen, Lord, who do I need to become to make sure I make it to the promised land? Forget if the promised land is happening. It's happening. It's whether I make it there or not, because that's what the wisdom of the Bible is telling us. That's why there was 40 generations. That's why I'm a young person today. And that's why I feel like my youth is helping me so much, because the older I get, the more everything in this world seeps into my very being, and the less easy it is to have faith and hope and all of this. And I hate it. It's the thing I hate the most about getting older, and it's the thing I hate about adults. Adults are so negative, and they're so just taken down by this planet and by the freaking kingdom of darkness. And you know why? Because they never killed the damn snake when we should have killed the snake in the garden. We should have been listening to a friggin' snake, and we should be killing snakes. Okay? So, I can't stand it. So when I hold on to the faith, I'm like, God, what do I need to do to be the generation that made it through? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be the generation that gets through to the promised land? Because imagine being freed, building the golden calf and everything, eating manna, complaining, all to die in the wilderness. That's like the adults of today for me. My hope is in the younger generations, by the way. I don't have any hope in the adult population whatsoever. People who are older than me, I have no hope. I don't care. I honestly don't care, because everyone's just complaining, everything's bad, life's hard, Don't care. And my hope is in the younger generation, because they are at a position where we have to just figure this stuff out. We've been forced to be here because parents are opening legs and impregnating people where they shouldn't be impregnating people, and having kids that shouldn't be having kids, and then having kids with the idea that they're just going to throw them into school most of the time, not realizing that, COVID is coming, and now you have to actually be a parent for once. Now you actually have to look after your kids, and now, we just have to be here by force. Right? So we're going to all have to either figure out, it's a sink or swim situation. And I've always been like that with me and the Lord. The Lord always throws me straight into the deep end. It's always been the thing he does, because he knows if he tells me, okay, and now we're going to pull you through into the baby pool in the shallow end, and then I will never listen. I'm wild child. So the Lord just throws me straight into the deep end all the time, every time. And I'm just like, Lord Jesus, how am I supposed to do this? But then it happens, because it's the Lord and it's God, and he's guiding me. And that's the point I'm trying to say here. Like, you have to trust in God. True wisdom is to trust God and to see God for who he is. Like, no one can tell me anything. The other day I got into a perfect disagreement with this guy, right? Yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't tell the days anymore. I got into the funniest disagreement with this dude, yeah. And it was online, because I'd left a comment somewhere, and I just said, thank God somebody finally said this or whatever, yeah. I've been starting to comment, because I was like, I never wanted to be the person who comments, because I feel like black women and commenting is such a negative thing. And then it occurred to me that maybe since I'm not a negative person, I should actually comment as a black woman. So, we can change the narrative here a little bit. Anyway, so I commented something on something, and then this dude comments back. And my comment got a lot of, it was one of those times that my comment got a lot of likes, like 15,000 likes or 20,000 likes right now, I don't know, whatever. And then this guy comments underneath it, yeah? And this is the only reason I even went back to the comment. He's like, but God doesn't exist, right? And I was like, great. This is awesome. Let's talk about the Lord. Because I started to talk, I said to him, I was like, I think God does exist, as a scientist. I just had left a very comment. Explain to me why I just asked him, explain to me why you don't believe that. Because I really want to know people's reasons, right? And then he's like, you and your personal God and you and this. And obviously it's all the anger that people have is all towards God. And I believe it's all towards God. And actually, I even said to him, I was like, look, the same way you made all these assumptions on me based on not knowing me at all. You haven't asked me a question. You made a bunch of statements based on things you've heard, things that you think or feel, and your issues with God. And nothing here you've even asked me. That's exactly what you do with God, and that's why you don't believe in him. And that's why, like, this is why I can see it happen every time. This is what people do. They do it with the same thing that my experience with humans is the same experience I see from people do with God. You make assumptions, you don't ask God, you make statements, you don't ask questions. Because I even said to him, I was like, I really love to know your opinion. Like, I was genuinely curious because he said he was a scientist and I like to talk to people about science. I was even like, I was waiting for I thought we were going to have, I was like, this is great. Let's have a full-blown scientific, like, discussion. Like, I think this could be so cool. Like, right, I just thought it'd be so cool. Like, let's have a full discussion anyways. In the end, I threw to him. And this is when I realized that I've really reached a different stage in my life. I said to him, he's like, how do you prove? He's like, prove that God exists or whatever. And I said, why don't you prove that God doesn't exist? Because you know why I said that? I could have said a whole bunch of things, yeah? But you know why I specifically said this? Because I was thinking, scientists and science is so stupid, yeah? Because I mentioned Schrodinger's cat, right? So if you guys don't know about Schrodinger's cat is like this theory, this science, and it's a quantum theory. So this is up in quantum now, right? I had to do Schrodinger's equation in my own research. I had to use the Schrodinger equation and everything, right? Schrodinger's cat, yeah? The whole concept of Schrodinger's cat, and this is why science is stupid, right? Is the idea is that we don't know whether the cat is in the box or the cat isn't in the box, whatever like that. We don't know if the cat in the box is dead or if it's alive. So we can't say either way because we can't choose either way because we don't definitively know either way. So we have to deal with a situation in which it could be or it couldn't be. And so that's why I mentioned the Schrodinger's cat to him, because I said to him, well, if you're saying that God doesn't exist and you ask me to prove that he does exist, and I believe my life, I'm an evidence and everything, talk to me, watch my videos for a day and you'll see that God exists if you're really ready to hear it. Yeah. Prove he doesn't exist. Because if you can't prove that he doesn't exist and I can't prove he does exist, then we're at Schrodinger's cat again. Do you see what I'm saying? It's Schrodinger's cat, and that is a scientific high-level quantum theory that we're talking about. Theory, again, all science is built on theories. Theories can change. In Albert Einstein's time, people like Einstein E equals mc squared. He believed that the universe was static. It took Georges Lemaitre, which you guys can go and watch the video about God versus science. I explained the whole origin of the Big Bang Theory scientifically. Go watch it. It's really good, actually, that video. That's why I re-uploaded it. If you go and watch that video, you'll see Georges Lemaitre proved that the universe is indeed not static, nor is it, what's the word for the opposite of contracting? It's not contracting, but indeed it's expanding. That was the fundamental discovery that forms also the theory of evolution. So where all the people, let's throw this out there. Does that mean that all the people prior to Albert Einstein, including Albert Einstein himself, who he himself believed that the universe was static, does that mean they were all idiots? Yes, because this is what I'm trying to say to you guys. All of our pursuit of knowledge, our pursuit of wisdom, our forming of false gods and creating calves or seeking knowledge or whatever, it's the devil's way of distracting us from putting our faith in the one person, the one and only thing that created this land, that created the promised land, and that is going to free us and get us into the promised land. That is what all of this is doing. I'm so sorry, guys. I'd never look directly at the camera because if I think too much about the fact that I'm talking to focals, to people, I won't say what I'm really saying because I'll remember that I live in the world that I live in, and I'll remember that nobody's ready, and I'll remember, yeah, it's not good. So that's the point. Like, so I was saying to this guy, this is why you sound dumb. And he never responded because there's nothing to say, because I made a good point. I made a scientific point on Schrodinger's cat because he's like, if you're a real scientist, if you're a scientist, then he's a grown man. I'm thinking, you're a grown man, like crazy. Grown man, yeah, like if you're a scientist, then there's no way you would make this assertion because I'm and I'm just like, when people hear this, it just actually makes me laugh because I really don't care. Like, how are you so worked up about somebody you've never met in your damn life? That doesn't happen to me. I don't get worked up about people that I do know. I don't care. Like, do what you want to do. Like, even the haters right now. Imagine the haters be tuning into my videos like hardcore. Like, hi haters, I know you guys are here. Find something else to do. In fact, I'll pray for your deliverance if you need help. I'll pray for your deliverance. It's actually funny to spend so much time. It's really funny. Yes, yeah. And I just threw the science back at him. And I'm going to use that Schrodinger's cat. I might restart. Maybe I should spend some time today on Schrodinger's cat again, so I can revive my knowledge. I might come back with a video. If you guys want, let me know in the comments if anybody's watching. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to know more about Schrodinger's cat, because that might be a good concept. Because I was also thinking of another concept to do with electrons and orbitals, because every single I have so many theories, guys, about why science just doesn't really make as much sense as it's trying to put out, because there's certain times where we just have these like assumptions, like, because this is what happens in science. Like when you're doing a lot of these equations, it's like, assume that gravity is 9 point whatever it is. Why are we assuming? I thought this was a quantitative subject. So why are we assuming this? And there's so many times, so many of the equations I had to use, it'd be like, assuming that, we assume, scientists don't know this, so they assume all this assumption. So I'm like, that's not science, my friends. Like, if I was to put my trust in science the way I put my trust in God, I would do like Pythagoras did, and I would kill myself. Pythagoras killed himself because he couldn't find the square root of 2, because it didn't make sense to him, which I kind of get where he's coming from. But I also feel like, but if you just think about it, it also doesn't make logical sense for 2 to have a square root. Because, anyway, whatever. Anyway, Pythagoras' theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Everybody learns about that. Yeah, well, they ever tell you what happened to Pythagoras? Yeah, they didn't tell you about that. Electrons and orbitals, right? So we were told the definition of an orbital. So when you have an atom, yeah, you have neutrons, you have protons and neutrons in the nucleus, right? Protons positively charged, neutrons neutrally charged, right? In the nucleus of the atom. Then it's got the rings around it. Rings, we call them rings, because the deeper you go into science, the less it's, anyway. And that's where the electrons are. Now, electrons have a virtually no weight, according to science, although weight in and of itself, even the weight of things in the periodic table, it's all a relative mass. Not an actual mass that they've observed, but a relative mass. That's why they're called relative atomic masses, anyway, whatever. We'll get into all of that, because that's just going to open the floodgates of another reason why I don't trust in science. A lot of reasons. Electrons in the shells, right? So in the shells, you learn that the electrons in the shells, but actually they're in these things called orbitals. An electron orbital. And all the orbitals can be defined, and it gets all the way into the dimensions, and it also, how electrons are in the orbitals and how they function affects everything, like from color to magnetism to shape. And when you look at electron orbitals, you can actually also understand, I remember one of the lecturers at my university explained why looking at them in that way, why we couldn't go to another dimension in this dimension, and why it's just really interesting. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that because I don't remember. If I remembered it, I would definitely be telling you guys. Anyways, so we believe that that's where the electrons are. So everything is about electrons in science. Like in chemistry, all of these bondings, different types of bonding, whether it's ionic bonding, giving or transfer of electrons, like receiving or losing electrons, whether it's covalent bonding, sharing of electrons, whether it's whatever type of bonding you're dealing with, metallic bonding, all the bonds, bonding, molecules, everything is all happening due to what's happening with the electrons. So electrons are like the most important thing. And yet, the electron orbital, what's the definition of an electron orbital? Do you guys want to know what the definition is according to science? An area where you are likely to find an electron. And it's like the amount is like 99, like they're not even 100% sure that you will find an electron in there. But it's more than, and I'm just like, so nothing is absolute in the science department. Everything is assumption, this, that, the other. And we've based all of these theories. I did with nickel. This is one of my favorite experiments we did at university. We took nickel, the metal, and we turned it into 5 different, I don't know, maybe it was 5 or 6, I don't know how many, 5, 6 or 7 different compounds. So we did nickel with this, nickel with that, nickel with that. And with each of them, they all made a different colored powder. I actually have a photo of it still. And each different colored powder, all the way from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, like all the colors, all of them had nickel. It was all to do with the electrons. It was all to do with how, depending on how the electrons are, the electronic configurations and all of that. Yeah. Which is way above anything I'm teaching anybody right now, which is so sad because I miss all that stuff. But anyway, you could get nickel to be different colors all because of the electron. So this electron that we're saying is so powerful, we're saying that an orbital is somewhere we're likely to find an electron. This Schrodinger equation, right, which which is being used in quantum science, right? Because like I said, I study quantum science. Quantum science is one of my favorite areas of science because it's the forefront of science. It's like where we're like, how do we push past what we know now? How do we understand the dimensions? How do we understand outer space? All of that, right? We are going off of these weird assumptions and we're saying, oh, assume this, assume that. It's a golden calf. It's a golden calf. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think I should go in because I'm actually getting hungry as well, and I need to start my day at some point because I can't just be out here doing videos, and I have stuff to do. And I get really passionate about the science stuff because, like, this is what I'm saying. I'm a true scientist at the heart of it. I've realized, like, you see how scientists they start with a thought and they obsess over it and they cannot get past it until they've like studied it till the very end of the earth. That's literally me. That is literally me. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go because I'm hungry. And a bit tired. I'll probably end up eating, taking a nap, as they're just having a really productive day. See, that's what we do when we're the child of the Lord. But yeah, it's another golden calf. It's another golden calf. It's another golden calf. Why did I even start this video in the first place? You see, I'm just going off these days. These days, I'm just making videos, bringing you guys on my thought track. Because as soon as I start to realize my brain moving a certain amount, I'm literally, my whole body is wet now because I've been sitting on the wet grass. Well, as soon as I realize that, like, I'm having a thought pattern that I don't want to forget, I'm like, let's record this for a video. Like, whether I upload it or not, let's record it so that, like, at least I can go back to it. But but yes, the guy's cutting the grass. Oh my gosh, I love it. Love to see it. Is he though? Anyway, I started the video initially because of how weirdly they cut the trees. Well, they did cut the trees real weird. So weird. And I was like, why have we cut the trees like that? I'm thinking, what was the purpose in this? And I wanted to ask you guys, and the next thing you know, golden calf. And I'm glad I went through that because you know why? Because I just had this funniest thought. I was like, how do I talk so long on these videos? Like, I'm literally talking to, it's like talking to myself because I won't get any response from you guys. Who knows if anybody will respond to my video? Then I realized I talk to myself all the time. So it's normal. Is that what this car is called? The Ford Puma. I see. I don't like it. Can I tell you guys what car I hate? The car that I hate the most, the Toyota Prius. I hate a Prius. Toyota Prius, I hate that car. It is ugly, and the little gear stick is like. Listen, the Toyota Prius is an ugly car. Anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, it's the kiddly winks. Because now is the start of the day. You see how I've been having these times with the Lord, and then I go back to be a part of the normal day. Now I've got to go and eat, make myself a hot drink, do my work. I gotta work, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, if life's a game, everybody, welcome to yet another random brain vomit. We started at cutting trees. We ended up at golden calf. And we finished at Schrodingers equation. Let me know if you guys want me to actually do a deep dive on Schrodingers equation, because I will actually do it, because I will bust open all of science. I'm not the one to mess with in the winning season. Like, I don't think people realize that. What the frick is that? That is the ugliest looking slug I ever did see. Anyway, if life's a game, it's pay to win. God bless you all. I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.